All right. I just wanted to sum some stuff up and I wanted to talk a little bit about I feel led that I want to say one more thing. The biggest issue here that's I don't feel like we're saying enough about is love. Um First of all, yes, I believe of course men want love, women and men want love. I believe that we are relying on our own understanding. We're not really allowing ourselves to learn from professionals and from pastors and from people who understand the psychological function of the mind and the spirit and the brain and all that. We're just relying on what we're saying. So we have people saying what they feel and making comments all over TikTok or wherever, and we're relying on that like it's real data-based information. Just because somebody said it and they said it with authority, or it sounds good, then we think it's real. So just because men might say they don't want love, or people aren't saying it or whatever, doesn't make it true. We know the law of the universe is really God's world. That God is the maker of the universe. So God made us, and the Bible tells us who we are, and God tells us who we are. And he made us to want love. In the beginning, he gave Adam a helpmate. I mean, he needed that. And it's a good thing to find a woman. It's what the Bible says, what God says. Whether you try to deny that or not, or break that down, that's what these end times are about, breaking and eating at all the fabric of anything that's structured. And love is the thing that will always be here. God is love. And he says, after all of the things that are good, the thing that will never end is love. That will never go away is love, charity, right? So, yes, we all want love. In fact, at the core of a lot of mental illness and a lot of pain is that we're all wanting love. Yes, men want love too. How we go after it and how we define it, and when we tell ourselves we're being loved, that's different for all of us. The big thing that I have discovered is a problem in relationship is attachment styles. When you are a child, how men or women, however you were attached to your primary caregiver, says a lot about how you receive love and understand love. So if you did not get hugged much, or you didn't get connection much, and I honestly, when I raised my son and my daughter, I don't believe men should have less hugs and love and warmth than a woman. And when if you have a parent that doesn't quite get that, and they're trying to teach you like a man too early, I think that that's bad. It can stunt your emotional growth. And that could be some of the problems here. So, does a man want love too? Yes, everybody wants love. But what has he been damaged already as a young boy to think he doesn't need love, to say he doesn't need love, to not show his emotions and all that stuff? These are the things that we're going to overcome in my course. You need to work through all this stuff. And I already know it's hard for anyone to work through things. Women even like the stuff and they're having a hard time. So you need a coach to help you work through all this stuff. I have a course that takes you step by step in helping you with your attachment styles, identifying your attachment style, identifying what happens and how to overcome those things, and find out, how do you see love? How do you want love? How can you give love and receive love? If you're so bottled up, how could you even take any of the advice that I'm sharing here? Even if you're a Christian and you know it and you've read the Bible, you know Jesus, and you want to be like Jesus, you know, how are we going to do it if you've had some damage or some PTSD or some type of trauma? So you do definitely want to get into counseling. And when you want to level up and you want to break these patterns so that you are free to be able to do these things, you're more vulnerable so that you can be attracted to a woman, and you can love and receive love properly without being turned off easily or turning someone else off because of all of your memories of your past, triggers that are not really happening, but because there are things that happened to you in the past and it reminds you of it. And what if she's triggered, you're triggered, you can't see? What if you're a perfect match, but you both are triggering each other with just a word or something, or the way you looked at each other? There's got to be some healing there so that you can even get those layers out of the way so you can find love. So, yes, men want love. Yes, they want it just as much as a woman. And yes, these women, that even the women that look like they're promiscuous out there and they're acting all whatever, they want it too. Everybody wants love. They just been hurt. People have been damaged and hurt. And what's so special about what I've been able to do with as a person with resilient joy, based on my book, is that even though I've had everything that should have happened to damage me and stop me, I was resilient. And that's what I want to teach you to do in my course. I want you to be resilient. I want you to be able to take a no and come back and be ready. It's just like a business or anything else. You can't stop just because of the first no you get. That doesn't mean you don't have a good product. I have an amazing course, but it's not for everybody. It's a course straight from the Lord. The Lord has led me on everything that I'm doing. And yeah, it's my business, but it's still God. God has given me the ability, the anointing, and the insight, the experience, and He showed me what you're going to be needing. So yeah, I have a course you have to pay for, you have to be ready for, and it's a leveling up. It's so that you can actually break these tendencies and all these things, so that you can get to the raw place of where you do want love. It's an amazing course, and I know it, but it's not for everybody. And I don't want everybody. I'm not going to work with everybody, because I'm definitely not going to work with somebody who is narcissistic, or somebody who's not empathic, and somebody that doesn't even want to love women and to have a wonderful marriage. They just want to play around. I'm not working with people who are sleeping around. And I'm not working with people who are not interested in, even if they are, if they're not interested in stopping it, to work with me so that they can build a better love for themselves, letting God love them so that they can have a loving relationship. You have to soften yourself up for that. Get yourself more vulnerable. And that takes some breakthroughs, some transformation is going to have to happen. And if you've ever had if you've ever had a personal trainer, I mean, there's going to be some leveling up there. And you have to shift some ways that you see things so that you can get to where you need to be, so that you can get the outcomes. So yes, men do want love, and they want meaningful, lasting love too. How they go about it, how they sound when they talk, they you know what I mean? In order for men to, this is for men, women, if you're listening, in order for men to enjoy lasting love, there has to be intercourse in there somewhere. Lasting. We're talking 2, 3 years, 10 years. If you want them to stay for, they have to, there's got to be some intercourse in there. I'm sure it has to be for women too, but men express it that way. They feel like that's when they know they've arrived. Even when it's God's way, this is where they culminate, and they feel like, I'm in love. She loves me. She's opened up herself figuratively, emotionally, physically, whatever. And she's really letting me connect with her in this way. That means she must really love me. So, and you know what I mean? So even those guys that play games, they do feel like they won something when they're able to have intercourse, because that means they did something right. So the guys that are deeper and more emotionally, I believe those men, sure, they want that, but those men that want marriage, it to them, they're like, this is the reward of the fact that I'm going to be a part of this woman's life. I'm going to be everything about her. I'm going to know her whole body. She's going to know something about the body, and connecting with her in that way makes them feel, okay, I've arrived. We are in love. That's just the truth about men. So do they want love? Yes. But if they're healthy, they will still want to express it physically, but it won't come so early and so cheap. It's going to be something they'll court and work towards, and really be so enjoying and so happy when they finally get there. But it's still, for them, that means a lot to them. That's how they express it. And that's why in marriage, if you're a woman listening, you don't want to withhold that, because it keeps them, that's how they feel that love. That's how they feel like, okay, we're good. I'm still someone she wants. Let me go back and work and make more money and keep doing what I'm doing, because she's rewarded me in a sense to tell me, good job, you're on the right track. That's how they're seeing it. It's not a score game or anything like that, but it is an emotional way of saying, I still love you. You're still good enough. You're still the one I choose. My body belongs to you only. Please continue to explore my body. I want to explore yours. I want it to just be us. God's in that. There's nothing wrong with that in monogamous marriage. And the man needs and wants that. And that's kind of the language where he feels like I'm good. We're good. Whereas the woman feels it more for men. In order to get there, you can't even get there until you're communicating with her, right? And as I've been saying, listening. And the listening, the proof of the listening is that your actions have adjusted to what she said she needs, or you spoke to add to turn into a conversation to understand it better, because you're changing and growing into who you're going to be as the husband that she needs and as the partner. You've listened. When she knows she's been heard, her heart's been heard, her mind's been heard, that's foreplay. So that she needs the listening, and the only way she knows is when you've responded, you've repeated what she said, you've changed something to say, oh, well, then I'll stop doing that. You've added something you did in your action, showed her that you heard it. Then she's wide open. If you after that want to be romantic, but you're always letting her be comfortable, you're always listening, even in that. You're listening physically, you're listening to physical cues and nonverbal cues. That's the biggest thing that God's been putting in my heart. And I can teach you how to do this in my course specifically, but these are the things you're going to need to do in order to land her, I guess, if the words you want to use, keep her, and to keep a healthy sexual life going in the marriage. It's always going to be that. So you need to get that skill down. Communicating, listening, and building trust based on that is what you're going to need to do. You got to lead in that, because that's what she needs. That's her love language. And she does love intercourse as well, but she needs that in order to release and be free. And see, there's different levels of sex too. We can talk about sex later. And there's that, oh, we're going to have sex. And then there's that wide open, wild, amazing. And that's when you've done the job of listening and you've relaxed her so much. You've relaxed her. She'll do so much more for you and so much more for herself and for her family and for herself if you give her that peace of mind. And that's a healthy woman that truly loves you and really doesn't hate men, which I'm against that too. If she truly loves you and is willing to build you up, she wants to do all these things. So we're talking with raw material of man and woman that really love man and woman. You know, a woman that loves a man that loves a woman in general, loves God, and truly has empathetic ways and wants to please one another. You should be out serving each other. So this is all about, do men want love? Yes. It's just, the way that it plays out is just a little different. But you guys, if you didn't know it, yes, you do want love. And if you feel like you don't, you've possibly had some trauma or some kind of disorder that's not allowing you to express it or to see it. Okay. And that's where you need to get therapy and get some counseling, professional help, if it's PTSD or if there's a disorder, anything very heavy. If it's just some triggers and stuff like that, and you just want to change your mindset, definitely I want to help you with that in my course, because I have things lined up to help you with that and help you heal from attachment styles and have more of a secure attachment style, which will make it so much easier in a beautiful relationship. So yes, men do want love. All right, so I pulled together my series. I hope you loved it. Please comment, talk to me, because I want to show you, help you with videos that help you best. I can't know that unless I hear from you. Click on my Calendly link if you want to set up an appointment to see if you are a good fit for my course. And God bless you. I'll see you in the next series. Bye.